My name is Mark Lesnick. I run the Litigation Funding Conference. Legal scholars have pointed out that financing for law have been around since the beginning of law itself. Since 2009, third-party litigation funding firms, hedge funds, and private equity firms have profoundly changed the way claims are pursued and defended. They have also discovered that by aggregating cases, it becomes an investment tool that has proven itself to be a profitable business model. Others have sought to use litigation funding as risk aversion. In one case, a multinational cell phone manufacturer's goal was to stop another firm from IP and patent infringement. They used a third-party litigation finance company to fund the case. They used that instead of tying up their own corporate capital for the suit. They were more than happy with the third party getting a substantial part of the proceeds from the judgment. Litigation funding has been used for means other than financial gain. As an example, the famous Hulk Hogan versus Gawker case, which was funded by Peter Thiel. The Litigation Funding Conference is an intense deal-making and networking event for high-value commercial claims, multinational arbitration cases, and others that require substantial investment. I run conferences and events. My company also makes software. The Litigation Funding Conference is completely independent and neutral. We don't compete with anyone that attends the event. We aren't attorneys, and we don't run a litigation finance company. We planned this conference for about 6 months before launching. We thought about it long and hard. We organized this for maximum efficiency. The structure of the event is focused on networking. You want to get new business and make deals. That's how you would qualify the event's value and return again. Third-party litigation funding companies, hedge funds, private equity firms, and those providing funding will have rooms similar to this. The hallways will be occupied by attorneys and corporate counsel. When they enter a room, both will have the opportunity to have discussions in private behind closed doors. The environment will be fast-paced but also comfortable. Attorneys and corporate counsel will bring a standardized form for their cases. Similar to an MLS form when you buy a home or a real estate property, they're designed so you can review them quicker. From a cursory examination, the funding firm can say, I'm interested in these 2 cases, but not these 3. We'll also have run-of-the-mill non-disclosure agreements or NDAs for your convenience. For those of you that need to have your own versions, please bring them along. We'll have seminars and presentations for attorneys and investment firms seeking to get into the business. If you're new to litigation funding and litigation finance, I strongly recommend this. What kind of firms will be here? We're targeting corporate counsel and law firms with a substantial number of attorneys. On the funding side, we're inviting well-recognized third-party litigation funding firms, hedge funds, and private equity firms. If you're still sitting on the fence, consider the following. Of all the conferences I've done, nobody knows everybody in the business. There's always new players. Also, I found that the best deals I've ever made happened by serendipity at a conference. I happened to be standing next to somebody else and it ended up making a lot of money. And I'm sure you've had similar experiences. The Litigation Funding Conference maximizes that serendipity. You can see how excited I am about this industry. I really like it. Most of you are really cool people. This event is for the best and the brightest, and it's also about performance. I hope you'll join me at the Litigation Funding Conference. Thanks for watching, and I wish you all the best.